Hey, what it be? It's your boy DREOG. Welcome back to the OG family. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you're rocking with the vibes and the content. But look, man, we got this when industrial machines go wrong. Did y'all hear how my high school education almost failed me right there? And not to mention, this video right here is for educational purposes as well. As y'all know, once I left the military, one of my jobs was working in the warehouse, man. And it's very dangerous working in these warehouses, man. You know, don't take this video with a grain of salt. Take it very serious. At the same time, we're gonna have a good time. Let's get it.
Number 8. Mark Bullock. In November of 2011, an engineer was boiled alive by superheated steam while conducting maintenance work on machinery at an animal rendering plant in Chettleton, Staffordshire, England. On November the 5th, Mark Bullock, aged 50, was on a night shift when one of the factory's lines became blocked. A self-employed maintenance engineer entered a confined space inside an industrial oven in an attempt to clear the blockage. The oven was larger than a double-decker bus and capable of handling 24 tons of waste. Connected to it was a vessel that collected the foul vapor produced by the waste cooking process. While Bullock was making the repairs, one of the lines that took out the vapor turned off, causing steam to feed back into the oven. It was a quick process and not a gradual one, with rescuers who later arrived at the factory comparing the scene to a foggy night. The engineer was struck by steam that carried a temperature of roughly 535 degrees Fahrenheit. He suffered burns to 90% of his body and died the following day. In 2015, after a lengthy investigation, a court ordered the plant's operators, John Poynton and Sons, to pay nearly $1.2 million. The sum represented the combined total of a fine and damages of around $250,000 that were paid to the victim's family. The company admitted guilt after it was determined that they hadn't conducted risk assessments on the job Bullock was performing and that he'd been improperly supervised on the night of the incident.
You know what, bro? That don't look, bro. They only got 1.1 million, and he wasn't even properly trained, bro. Like, I'm not saying, look, man, my life worth more than my life worth more than 1.1 million, bro. Some shit like that was to happen to me. You feel me? That's insane. And then imagine, bro. Just imagine. Y'all ever get in the shower, bro, and you have the water on too high already, and you get in that motherfucker, and it's burning your skin, and if you have the luxury to turn it down, imagine not being able to turn it off. Crazy.
7. Kelly Neild. 24-year-old Kelly Neild of Cheshire, England, suffered life-threatening injuries in April of 2009 following an accident at a factory that manufactured clothes hangers for various outlets. The facility was based on Deeside, North Wales. Neild had leaned over to free some hangers that were blocking the mechanism of a conveyor belt. Her scarf was caught in the line's cogs, and then her ponytail was pulled in as well. Neild was left gasping for air, and because the factory floor was busy at the time,
but she got her wig snatched for real.
Noticed by her co-workers. As she desperately tried to free herself, the young woman stuck her little finger in the mechanism, which fractured the digit and nearly severed it off. A portion of her hair was also pulled off, and subsequent photos taken at the scene would show a massive clump of it tangled in the cogs.
Imagine.
Colleagues eventually spotted her, prompting a workman to press the main off switch and power down the belt. Another colleague used a pair of scissors to cut the scarf that had narrowly almost strangled the woman to death. Neild began coughing up blood, and her throat immediately swelled to the point that she was no longer able to speak and struggled.
I'm ready for the pictures. Come on.
Aside from the loss of most of her hair and the finger injury, Neild was left with a crushed and twisted larynx, scarring of the esophagus and trachea, as well as scarring of the epiglottis. She spent 3 months in a hospital and was fitted with a stomach peg to feed her liquids because she was unable to swallow. The woman also suffered from flashbacks and emotional trauma in connection to the incident, during the course of which she believed she was going to die.
I'm gonna let y'all know something. I always say that in these videos. Those eyebrows right there, that is a sign, bro. I'm telling you, when it's something about eyebrows, I think it's like a sign of like misfortune. You feel me? Something bad is about to happen. When these people be having them certain eyebrows, they be all on mug shots and everything. It's just like something is surrounding the eyebrows. Ladies, take care of your eyebrows out here. You feel me? It's the front of your face. You didn't know what that was.
The company admitted guilt to several charges, including
Wonder how much she
failure
got
to
paid.
install an emergency stop on the assembly line and failure to provide Neild with appropriate training regarding the dangers. They were fined over $80,000. Number 6.
Bruh, look, y'all heard all that she done went through, bro, and that, you know, this shit is absurd. This is absurd, bro. She just got her wig snatched. For real, and she got 81. That's crazy. It's crazy to me.
Atulkumar Patel. In the fall of 2012, East London man Atulkumar Patel lost 4 fingers and part of his right hand when the industrial machine he was cleaning switched on.
Look at that hand, bro.
Patel, who at the time of the accident was in his late 30s, had been conducting maintenance on a packing line when a blade cut deep into his limb and amputated his fingers. As explained by medical experts, in the case of reattaching digits, time is of the essence, and surgery should ideally be conducted within a 6-hour window. Patel's colleagues reportedly placed the severed body parts in a carrier bag, and the man was rushed to Broomfield Hospital in Essex. Over the course of an operation lasting approximately 10 hours, surgeons painstakingly reconstructed the connections between Patel's bones, nerves, and tendons.
Nigga, imagine being at work, bro, and you picking up your homeboy fingers off the floor. This is gonna be a test, man, to see if you're a good friend or not. You know, I'm wondering if this hand is even gonna work.
He spent 20 days in the hospital and had another operation in which skin and blood vessels were transferred from his thigh to his hand. In what was deemed as a remarkable recovery process only 5 weeks from the accident, Patel had already regained feeling of partial movement in his fingers. Number 5.
Partial?
Wang Jin. On December the 11th of 2013, an 18-year-old worker suffered a life-changing accident at a factory in southern China. Wang Jin's hands were horrifically mangled after being crushed and torn from the wrists by a malfunctioning industrial hammer. Colleagues rushed him to Shangyao Hospital in Henan Province's capital of Changsha, along with what was left of his broken hands and fingers. Some of the teenager's bones were shattered beyond repair and required permanent removal. In lieu of him becoming a double amputee, surgeons decided to make Jin a new pair of hands from what could be saved of his palms and digits. They attached the left little finger onto the right hand, which still had a functioning thumb. From his left hand, they removed the middle finger but kept the index and ring fingers, which were then connected to the left wrist. The end result of the 9-hour procedure was Jin being given a set of pincer-like appendages. Less than a month from the accident, the teenager was reported as being able to bend the reattached fingers.
Nigga,
Number
what?
4.
No. Y'all not gonna do that to me, bro. Like, if some shit like that was ever happening, don't do that to me. Just leave that shit alone, bro. Because what they gave this man was, y'all ever cracked the shell on a lobster claw and it came out butt ass naked? Y'all ever seen the butt ass naked lobster claw, bro? That's crazy. I'd rather, you know, they got the prosthetics and stuff now. I'm just giving them a better option. They got the prosthetics that you can actually control, and wow.
Stephanie Adkins. Ohio woman Stephanie Adkins faced a long road to recovery in June of 2016 after she was scalped by an industrial machine at the Columbus factory where she'd worked for about 8 months. 30-year-old Adkins had bent down to pick something up from the floor on June the 8th when her hair was pulled into the drive shaft of a metal sheet cutting machine. Other workers heard Adkins screaming in excruciating pain as her hair was ripped from her head, along with the skin on her neck, forehead, eyes, and ear. Colleagues had to unravel her scalp from the machine before the woman was rushed to a local hospital. On June the 14th, less than a week from the accident, Adkins underwent a skin graft in which surgeons used blood vessels and veins from her leg to repair the damage to her head. The operation was successful, but it was deemed the woman would need to have more reconstructive work in the future. As of the latest updates on her situation, doctors were concerned about the damage to her eyes, which she still wasn't able to open. Adkins had suffered scratched corneas, and it was unclear in what measure her vision could be restored. Number 3.
We need an update on that. We need an update on that shit, though. For real, bro. Like, she got her shit pulled the fuck off. For real. Imagine, bro, being at work. Once again, you casually at work, somebody scalp on the floor, and then you have to unravel it from the machine. Oh my gosh. You know what? That's why, you know what my backup plan, bro, was? Stripping. I was gonna go ahead and get it popping. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? On the warehouse.
A single mother of 3 suffered fatal crushing injuries following an accident at a processing plant in Fresno County, California, in January of 2020. Janeff Viaderas, aged 33, was removing debris from a stem grading line machine used to break up bunches of raisins. It was the second season that she worked for a labor contractor named Blessed Harvest. Viaderas was reported to have worn loose clothing, which she'd gotten caught in a machine. It caused her to be pulled into it and suffered devastating head injuries. Other workers were within several feet of her as the incident unfolded, and one of them turned off the power. Witnesses called 911, but Viaderas was no longer breathing by the time first responders arrived at the scene, as she'd succumbed to severe head trauma. The coroner and the California Department of Occupational Safety and Health were called in to investigate. The aim, aside from establishing an official cause of death, was to determine if Viaderas had been adequately trained in operating the machinery and if the plant had violations leading up to the accident. Today's topic was requested by Aladdin Sane. If you have any other topics you'd like to learn about, subscribe and let us know in the comments section below. Number 2. Graciela Espinoza. In 2016, a Chilean teenager suffered a gruesome workplace accident at an automobile workshop in Valparaiso. 18-year-old Graciela Espinoza had studied industrial mechanics at a local high school and was reportedly only a few days into her job at Hernandez Motores. As Espinoza's back was turned, her hair got caught in a machine that she'd been operating. The teenager was forcefully pulled back and, in an attempt to avoid further damage, launched herself out of the industrial machine's grip. Within seconds, a vast swathe of Espinoza's hair.
Hey, look at that shit though. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all know what that shit look like? Instantly, the first thing. What's the first thing in your mind? So, cause she survived this, you know. Everybody good, y'all. You know what I'm saying? She okay. She obviously okay. But that shit look like the Easter bag, the Easter egg grass with the eggs in the basket. That's exactly what that shit look like. See, that's why they keep your hair pent up when you in these type of jobs. They tell you that for a reason. Not to be funny and trying to control y'all. Keep it up because you'll be looking like that shit right there. The Easter basket with the egg out this motherfucker.
Was forcefully torn from her scalp. She was rushed to Valparaiso Naval Hospital and 3 months after the incident still suffered from its physical and psychological implications. In May of 2016, Espinoza demanded that the workshop's operators answer for the damage she'd suffered. However, reports from local outlets indicated that the company denied responsibility, alleging that Espinoza hadn't been assigned to the machine, but had approached it out of curiosity.
Oh,
Number 1.
She messed herself up.
Nigel Ackland. In 2006, British man Nigel Ackland accidentally got his right arm trapped in an industrial blender at a smelting plant. The machine ravaged his limb, and looking back on the incident, Ackland would remember instantly knowing amidst the intense pain that he'd lost the lower half of his arm. Nevertheless,
that's crazy.
Battled to save it for roughly half a year, a period during which Ackland underwent multiple operations and suffered recurring infections. He ultimately decided to have a below-the-elbow amputation.
I can't sit still.
After the procedure, was left with a flared stump and difficulty finding suitable prosthetics. Ackland's range of movement was limited for several years to what he could do with a replacement hook. However, in May of 2012, he was contacted by innovative prosthetics company RSL Steeper and asked if he wanted to test out their new B-Bionic 3 multi-articulating myoelectric arm, which at the time was amongst the most advanced in the world. It operated through sensors that detected flexing of the muscles in the upper arm, similar to how a human limb naturally operates. Ackland was one of only 7 people to be given the chance to test out the arm. Before long, he was thrilled with the efficiency of the prosthetic, which he claimed made him feel like the Terminator.
Now that was dope. Now that was a dope ending. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, that's why I was saying, bro, the little lobster claw, that shit right there was crazy, bro. For me, that was crazy. I just don't understand it. You know, with technology and stuff, you know, I'd rather have nothing than to be out here with the butt naked lobster claw. You feel me? What would y'all rather take in the comments down below? Y'all let me know. I'm just telling the truth about this shit. Like, you ain't gonna do me like that. But at the end of the day, man, feel how you want to feel about how you feel. I don't like you any less. I still rock with y'all. Hopefully y'all rocking with me. But look, man, I see you on the next video. Like I always say, man, spread love because there's too much hate in this world. And that's for real, man. Take it very serious, man. Protect your energy out here in the world. Don't let everybody's BS out here in the world affect the way you feel, your energy, your surroundings, and be in control of your situations. And just do the best you can. Not saying to be perfect out here in the world, but just do your part to be a decent human being. And I'm out this joint.